Visit themonstertrain.com to sign up for the free beta and join the fight to save hell.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our weekly developer stream for Monster Train. I am Mark Cook. I'm the CEO of Shiny Shoe. We're the development team making the game. And today we're going to be showing off some cool stuff. We're going to do another run with the Stygian Guard, which is the clan we unveiled last week. And we're also going to be taking a deeper look at the logbook, looking at some of the new features that are going to be coming in there that are not currently in the public beta. But before we move on, I want to address the elephant in the room. Why is there a picture of me and not my face moving with a camera? And of course, the answer is COVID-19. So I am streaming today from my house. That's also why Andrew isn't here. Everybody on our team, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area. There's a lot of concern about it. So to be safe, pretty much everybody, I think everybody is working from home at this point. So yeah, everyone stay safe out there. But let's get started and play Monster Train. All right, so quickly, for anybody who's seeing this for the first time that doesn't know what the game is, Monster Train is a deck building roguelike. You're on a big train. It's filled with monsters. What are we trying to do? We're playing as the forces of hell. Hell is under attack from heaven, and it's getting frozen over. But we want to restore the flames of hell. So we are taking something called the Pyre. The Pyre is the source of energy for your train, and it also has the power to restore the flames of hell. So we're trying to move it from point A to point B, get it from the gates of hell to the center of hell, restore the flames. So that's our goal. But let's get started with a run so we can jump in and check it out. So for players who are playing in the public beta, and speaking of, if you're not in the public beta and would like to be, you can still sign up at themonstertrain.com and get a Steam key to play in the public beta. But yeah, people who are familiar with that will see that this screen has changed a bit. So that progression meter that you're familiar with for single player progression isn't here. And the reason for that is because it's completely moved into the logbook into a way cooler screen that's way more clear, which we'll look at after our run. All right. So last time when we did a Stygian Guard run, we played with the allied clan of the Hellhorned last week. So this week I was thinking that we would do the Awoken. Now I know probably people who are paying attention to the game and players want to see the other two clans, but we're not going to reveal them yet. I think I'm probably going to have to show a little bit more about them than you may have seen when we go and look at the logbook later. But for now, in terms of our run today, we're going to stick to the Stygian Guard and the Awoken. And my goal is definitely to win this run. We're going to play on Covenant 1. So I think I've got an okay chance. But the reason why I want to win is I want to show off some of the cool new logbook progression tracking that happens when you like accomplish a new goal. So let's see if I can do it. All right, so here's our starting conditions. All right, our final boss this time will be Seraph the Diligent. And I promised Steve on the Shiny Shoe development team that I would try to do a dramatic reading of all text for this type of stuff and for the Concealed Cavern events. At least he and I find it amusing. I hope you like it too. So, all right. Seraph the Diligent. The end is near. The great traitor will devour your spells. You better bring more of them if you hope to succeed. All right, so what does devour your spells mean? It means that Seraph is going to apply the Power Drain emblem, where all spell cards are going to get consumed, which is rough for the Stygian Guard clan, which is like a heavy spell-based clan. So we're going to have to be mindful when we're building our deck on our way to Seraph about how many spells we build, draft I should say, what we want to keep, and so on, especially if we want to win. So it's going to be tough. We probably want to boost our units more. In terms of our random starting cards, we got Energy Siphon. Apply Spell Weakness 1. So what Spell Weakness does is it applies a persistent effect. It's a debuff onto an enemy. And then the next time we damage them with a spell, they take additional damage. So I believe it's double? Multiplied by the number of stacks. Okay, we changed the design on this recently. So if you build up a lot of that, you can deal a ton of damage with any kind of damaging spell. We've got Pyro Shards. Pyro Shards are from our allied clan, the Awoken, and they add spikes onto a unit, and they have Consume. So usually you want to put this onto some kind of frontline, like defender type unit in one of the rooms. And we got Preserve. Draw 1, apply Frozen to a card in your hand. I really like this card. So it allows us to get a new card and it applies Frozen. What Frozen does is it means it stays in our hand even after we end turn. A Frozen card is not discarded at the end of the turn. So you can save it for the opportune time to cast it, which adds to some interesting strategy. So yeah, let us get started. Oh, and quickly, before we make our first choices here, there was a question from the Steam forums I wanted to answer. This is Rob from the Steam forums. I'm just curious, what can we expect for the Covenant levels? How do they work exactly, and how high have the devs gotten? So there are 25 Covenant levels in total. I don't think I'm ready to reveal like what all of them do, but they all increase the difficulty in some way. I think, you know, on the dev team we reset our save data all the time, so we like make forward progress and then we need to test something at the beginning of the game, so we reset it. I've personally gotten to Covenant 5, but I keep resetting. I really want to sit down and try to get further. I know our quality assurance team they've gotten through all 25 levels, and we have a player in the private beta who's gotten to Covenant 20, although he's now stuck there. So shout out to Apple Bloom. But yeah, they add a variety of kind of interesting twists on the core gameplay, so I think it's going to definitely be a long-term goal for people that are interested in single player, and the ultimate goal, of course, is to beat Covenant 25 with all 20 clan combos. All right, JD Jordy asks, okay, who there is a heaven lover? Well, I guess we're playing as the monsters, so probably none of our monsters, you know. We're trying to get rid of the forces of heaven that have invaded hell. And Tudum64 asks, will there be mods for this game? Not currently planned, but definitely interesting and fun to think about. So maybe we can talk more about ideas for that on Discord. Yeah, please join our Discord community. There's a link on themonstertrain.com, and I'm sure somebody who's watching can paste the link into chat. All right, so I always pick, we have two things we can pick from. There's a Dark Forge upgrade where we can upgrade our champion, and there's a Herzl's Horde where we can gain an artifact, which are passive benefits. I'm just going to mention these for people who haven't played the game. Also, this is our opportunity to look up and down this map. This is the map going through the Rings of Hell. We start in Limbo, and we go down to the depths of Hell. So our goal is to get all the way to the bottom, to the Frozen Heart, and restore the Pyre. And as we move forward, the flames from our train will be kind of melting this ice, allowing us to proceed. So let's jump back up to the start and pick our artifact, which I like to do first. All right, so we got Improved Firebox, gain 7 Ember on the first turn of battle. And we got the guild marker, merchant costs are reduced by 25%. So, gain 7 Ember on the first turn of battle. Like, whenever I am faced with something like this, I look at my deck. So we don't have, right now, anything that costs a lot of Ember. If we took that artifact, I'd be like thinking strategically, maybe we should start trying to draft things that are high in Ember cost, because perhaps it's more likely we'll be able to cast them, especially if we draw them on our first turn. It's always a gamble still, though. Or the guild marker, which is going to make all merchants cheaper throughout the entire run. That's tempting to take because we're right at the start of a new run, so we can maximize the value of it. So I think I'm going to take the guild marker. All right, and let us look at our champion upgrades. So here's Tethys Titansbane, the champion of the Stygian Guard, and we've got two options. One is the one we took last week. Damage spells cast on this floor cost -1 Ember. And one that we didn't choose last week, Strike, apply Frostbite 3 to the attacked unit. And Frostbite is a debuff, and basically the unit that has Frostbite on it, which can be multiple at the same time, takes damage at the end of turn, and then one stack, basically, of Frostbite decreases at the end of that turn. So if a unit is hit with Frostbite 3, at the end of that first turn after they have it, they'll take 3 damage. At the end of the next turn, they'll take 2. At the end of the next turn, they'll take 1, and so on. And you can keep stacking it up. So it can be great to like put a lot of stacks on a boss, for example. All right, so I'm trying to think late game because I want to win. So we're going to have Seraph devour your spells, lowering the spellcast cost by 1 Ember for damage spells sounds great for most of the game until we get to Seraph, and then it's less useful because they're going to be consumed. We could gamble, like Frostbite strategies can work great, but they take time to build up, and we don't have any cards right now that are granting Frostbite. Why don't we try it though, because we didn't choose it last week, so let's take a gamble on it. Alright, and let's get started. Ooh, new boss. So that is another thing that is going on in the kind of main development or the main game that's not in the public beta. There are a bunch of new bosses, so this is one of them. And what is this battle? This is the Guardians of Light. These disciples have been granted special power over the light of Seraph, making them harder to kill than other disciples. And we have to decide if we want to take this trial that's going to increase the difficulty. This trial will add 6 armor to all enemies, but we will get Hell's Banners, draft a primary or allied clan unit. So we get an additional card draft for a unit. Because we have the consumed Seraph boss, I'm definitely tempted to take this, even if we take some pyre damage. Which, by the way, for anyone who hasn't played the game, that's how you lose the run, is to have your pyre health go all the way to 0. So I'm definitely tempted to take it because I want to try to get units as fast as we can. And some units, as a preview, you know, we haven't seen these cards yet, but some units do frostbite damage, which if we're going for a frostbite strategy, that could be great for us. So let's go forward. All right. So the one like kind of thing that's you have to play around all the time with the Stygian Guard is our champion has very low health. It only takes 1 capacity slot. That's this yellow pip, so 1 kind of space in the room you summon it into. But it's very weak. So this enemy unit does 3 damage, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, but if I play my champion into the first floor, it's going to die on the first turn, because enemies attack first. That would be bad. This is a pretty bad first hand, because I don't really want to put Pyre Shards, and I've got 2 of them in my hand, onto my champion, because this is not a frontline blocking unit. So I either play him on the middle floor, gambling that I'm going to draw a Train Steward to defend him, which is likely, but not guaranteed, given I have 12 cards here. Or I'd be a little bit safer and I play him on the 3rd floor. I might just play him... I'm gonna gamble. I'll play him on the middle floor. Alright, and I'll cast Frozen Lance to deal damage to the enemy. I can't really do anything else useful right now. Alright, phew! Dura Train Steward, so I have some defense here. Jade DeJordy asks, what is he? The cat. Tethys Titansbane. I forget. Honestly. It's some kind of... It's inspired by some kind of real-world creature that was very unusual. Brendan, if you're watching and you know the answer, can you post it into chat? He would know. Somebody on the dev team knows. Alright, and Jada Jordy also asks, as you pass through each gate, will there be more lore? For example, a storybook text that will enhance the story. That would be cool. Not currently planned. I think we do have some additional lore about the areas of hell that's not currently exposed in the game that we need to create a way for the player to see. But so there's going to be a little bit more there. Alright, but back to the game. So even just looking at my hand immediately, I want to protect my champion, so 100% I'm summoning this Train Steward in front. Now the question is what I want to do next. So if I want to kill, I always am greedy and I want to get the gold from the collector, but I don't have any way to get him right now, unfortunately. So I can apply Spell Weakness, which I probably will. So I'm going to put that onto this enemy here. So remember, Spell Weakness makes my damage spells deal more damage. So now my Frozen Lance is going to deal 8 damage instead, which doesn't look like it's going to be enough to kill him, including my damage here, but I'll cast it. So that's good. And now I've got a cat meowing at me below, so sorry if you guys can hear that. Alright, and I'll cast Preserve too, because why not? I don't need to heal right now, so I don't need to cast Restore. Which card do I want to save for next turn? I want to save Frozen Lance. So Frozen Lance is now frozen. It means it won't be discarded in my turn. As you can see, it wasn't discarded, so we get to keep it. Alright. So, what do I want to do? He's going to take 2 damage. And because, unlike the other champions that people have seen so far, since Tethys Titan's Bane is only one capacity unit, we still have 2 capacity slots left in this room, which means I can summon another Train Steward in here, which I'm going to do. And then in addition up here, I'll probably summon another Train Steward, because then this guy's going to die. He's going to take 5 damage from the Train Steward, and he's going to take 2 more damage from Frostbite. So he's gone and won't deal any damage to my Pyro. And I think, why not? Well, I guess I could either heal this Train Steward, or I can try to deal more damage. I think I'll try to deal more damage. I'll Energy Siphon, and I'll cast Frozen Lance. And let's try to get rid of these guys. So, there he goes. Alright, Shiny Rose got the answer for me, thank you. Tethys Titan's Bane, the cat character, is an Axolotl, aka a Mudkip. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what that is, but I trust that she's right. Alright, what are we gonna do here? So, okay, this guy's dead, he's got Frostbite and will deal enough damage. Probably gonna heal my frontline Train Steward. Alright. I'm gonna throw Pyro Shards onto my frontline Train Steward, might as well. And then I'm probably just gonna nuke this guy with some Frozen Lances. So what does this boss do? This boss has a Resolve trigger. Resolve is something that happens after a round of combat, so at the end of the turn, basically. And it adds a Self-Mutilation card to the top of my deck. And the tooltip tells us what that is. It's a Scourge card. Purge if you cast it, and Reserve, which means if you keep it in your hand, your Pyro takes 3 damage. So he's going to give me a junk card that's going to go on top of my deck and force me to draw that, which I really don't want. But there's nothing I can do about it right now. Damage him twice in the turn. That guy's dead. So that's the annoyance, is that they put it right on the top of your deck. So I drew into this card. I don't want to take 3 Pyro damage, so I'm going to get rid of it. So by casting it, it purges, it's blown up, it's no longer in my deck. Preview, which are these like little X's and the dashes and so on, which is a feature that previews like what's going to happen when I press end turn in terms of the unit's health, is showing me that I'm going to kill the boss already. So that's great. That means I don't have to think too hard, assuming there's no bugs. So I'll heal this Train Steward, I'll throw Pyro Shards on there. I don't think I want to cast Preserve. I'll just heal this other one. I like to cast my hand even if it shows I'm going to win, just in case. So the good thing about this combat here is that our champion in the back is going to stack up a lot of Frostbite on this guy. So now he's got 9. He's taking a lot of damage every turn, and we got him. And we took no Pyro damage, so that's great. Okay, new cards from the Stygian Guard. So we've got the Mollusk Mage, +2 magic power on this floor. 1 capacity slot, so another kind of small unit, very weak, low health, low attack. However, +2 magic power on all of our spells is pretty darn good. Still thinking about late game, if we're going to lose all of our damage spells from casting them, that's still like, it doesn't sound super great, but it can be, I mean, it's going to be good up until that point. We've got Offering Token, draw 1, discard 1. I love Offering Token, it just always like opens up possibilities. The other thing it can do, which we don't have any offering cards right now, but there's a keyword in the Stygian Guard called Offering on certain spells that basically, if you're able to discard it somehow, it casts it for free without paying the Ember cost. So Offering Token is a great enabler for that strategy. Since we don't have any of those cards right now, taking it, you know, it's like a little bit less useful, but we may get to draft some later. And then the last one is Drain, apply Sap 3. And so Sap reduces the amount of attack damage an enemy can do, which is great, given our kind of like a little bit weaker units in general. However, again, thinking late game, our Seraph is going to devour our spells, so we're probably only going to be able to cast that once, which isn't great. So it's still a good card, though, you know? I don't know. I think I'll go for the Mollusk Mage. Let's just start trying to boost our spells right now, try to get the value out of them during the run, and then see if we can build a unit-based strategy for late game. Alright, choose a card. So we got 3 spells. I was hoping to roll into some units here for the Awoken. Alright, so enhance a unit with +3/+3. That feels pretty tempting for Steel Enhancer, because, you know, we've got these weak units. Our champion is weak, low health. This is a way to power him up. got Vine Grasp, a direct damage spell, deals 2 damage and moves them to the front, which can be good for getting rid of kind of like backline enemies. That's kind of like one of the things with Frozen Lance, which is one of the starting cards for the Stygian Guard. You know, it deals 4 damage, which sounds good, but it's only to the front enemy. Especially as you get further into the run, we're going to see that, you know, the front enemies are often like big shield blocker guys that, you know, we don't really care about hitting, so there's definitely some good utility in Vinegrass to hit those backline units directly. And its damage will be boosted from Mollusk Mage when we cast it in the room. Or you get Ensnare to root a unit and then draw 1. Probably not going to go for that this time. I don't think... I mean, it helps, you can like separate rooms, like who's dangerous and who's not using root, which is interesting. Which can help like pull dangerous things to the front. But I'm probably not going to go for that. I think I'm going to go for Steel Enhancer. It feels the best for me right now. I was tempted to go Vinegrass. All right, now we got our trial reward. We get to pick a unit. So we've got Vine Mother from the Awoken. Resolve, add a sting spell to your hand. So it gives you a sting spell every turn, which is great. It's a damage spell. It also deals damage to the front enemy unit. So we already have a lot of that though. We've got a lot of Frozen Lances already. So, and we don't have like a global magic power boost or any of the artifacts related to boosting sting. So I probably wouldn't go for that. We've got Cold Salia. Sweep, strike, apply Frostbite 2 to the attacked unit. So this is a sweep unit. Every unit that gets hit is going to take Frostbite damage. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take her, even before I read the next one, because I'm wondering if we can build into a Frostbite strategy, especially since we took that champion upgrade. And then we have Husk Hermit, the Awoken Sweep unit, 220. So higher health. I mean, both Vine Mother and Husk Hermit are tempting with that higher health to be kind of frontline blockers. But I say let's go greedy and let's try to build into a Frostbite strategy. I'm going Cold Salia. All right. Jada Jordy asks, what do you think will be the weakest of the 20 different combos in the game? Well, I can't answer that right now without revealing like what the other ones are, and we're still actively balancing, so it's kind of hard to know right now. We want all of them to be viable. That's our goal. It's a tough balancing proposition, but we'll see. So unfortunately, I can't answer that yet. Okay, so here we are at the Cliffs of the Fallen Souls. For anyone familiar with the game, one of the improvements you can see in this build is we're now highlighting the track. We get to choose which way do we want to go. Do we want to go left or right? So that determines which rewards we're going to get. On the left side, we have a Spell Merchant and an Awoken banner to gain an Awoken unit. And on the right, we have a Unit Merchant and a Stygian banner to get a Stygian unit. So given the fact that our spells are going to be screwed up in the late game by Seraph, I'm probably more tempted to go for unit upgrades in general. So let's go this way. Let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to pick my unit first. Okay, 2 options. The Icy Silophyte, Sweep, apply spell weakness to the attacked unit. That would be more tempting if we were boosting our spells. Since we're not, I am definitely leaning towards the Guard of the Unnamed, who is a 15-20 frontline blocker, which is something we're lacking right now. And on Incant, which is a trigger, he gains 5 armor. And Incant triggers whenever you cast a spell on the floor that that unit is on. So we definitely need some kind of stronger blockers, so I'm definitely going for that. All right, now let's visit the Merchant. And here at the Merchant, what do we have on offer? We've got an Emberstone, upgrade a unit to cost -1. I always open my deck. All of our units cost 1 right now, not too tempting. We've got 2 of those, not great. And upgraded a unit with Quick. Quick is awesome. So for 100 gold, which we got a discount on, we can add Quick onto somebody. I would almost certainly add Quick onto Cold Salia, so that because Quick with Sweep is awesome for hitting people in the back line, and then later I would look for a way to boost her damage. Another feature that we're seeing here that's brand new, that's not in the public beta, is the reroll. We can randomize and refresh the offered goods. So I can pay 40 gold to throw away these 3 upgrades if I don't like them, and get 3 new ones. This is something we just recently added, and I think it adds some interesting kind of like gambling elements and strategic opportunities to use your gold in ways where, you know, if you're offered things that aren't useful for you, you can take the, you know, the gamble basically to hope that you get something that's more useful by spending a little bit of gold. All right. But I'm going to take Speedstone, and I'm going to put it on Cold Salia. That feels right to me. Alright. Jada Jordy asks, what do you think about graying the side you didn't pick or keeping the highlighted line so if someone looks back, they know the path they went? Well, let's look. I mean, we do gray these options here. I suppose we could gray the track as well. Yeah, we hadn't considered that before. But let's move forward. Tushar0 says, make the cat playable. DLC, perhaps. Alright, another battle, another new boss. This battle, this is going to be a rough one. So, Penitent Prayers. Oh, excuse me. I need to do my dramatic voice. The Reconcilers have arrived in great force to make sure that you repent for the sins that hell has brought upon the world. And so I happen to know what this boss does because I played against him before, and he looks pretty spiky, right? So this is a Spikes boss. Spikes are terrible for us. We've got all these units with really low health, right? Like our champion's only got 3 health. Cold Salia's got 10 health. I mean, Spikes in general are just going to wreck our champion. Okay, and our trial on offer is non-boss enemy units enter with Spikes 3, which is just going to wreck us even more. So I think we just cannot take that. I know, like, Andrew would be getting mad at me already. He likes to take all trials all the time and just try to work around them. But that one does not. I'm trying to win, trying to play it safe, so I am not going to take this trial as much as I would like to. Alright, who'd we get? So we've got Tethys Titansbane, and we got Guard of the Unnamed. If I play both of them, that will take up 4 slots in capacity. I will not be able to play anybody else in this room, but that feels okay. Let's do it. So I'll play him there, play my Guard in front. Great opportunity, giving the Guard Pyro Shards feels great. That's going to give him some Spikes damage to deal back. He's a big frontline guy, and he gets his Incant trigger. He gained 5 armor off of casting that. And look at this, it's wonderful. We can cast everything in our hand. So let's Energy Siphon our front unit. We get another Incant trigger. Let's cast Frozen Lance. We get another Incant trigger. So he's already built up 15 armor. This guy's awesome. Ooh. Okay, this Collector up here, I definitely want to kill it. So my Cold Salia, I wish I had enough capacity. I'm already thinking if we defeat Daedalus, which I definitely hope we do, I'll want to draft the upgrade that gives me some more capacity. Alright, what do I want to do here? So I definitely want to put more Pyro Shards on our Guard of the Unnamed. I'm probably going to Frozen Lance the Collector. I guess it doesn't matter right now. Sure, I'll Frozen Lance and get the gold. Play my Cold Salia here. Don't need to heal anybody, don't need to cast Energy Siphon, but I'm going to cast it anyways because we're going to get the Incant trigger. Because Incant triggers every time you cast a spell. So even though there's no other reason to cast those, it still benefits us. Okay, great, we can fit the Mollusk Mage in here. Let's put that little guy right there. Steel Enhancer. So I know that this boss that's about to come out is going to have spikes, so it's probably more useful for me to Steel Enhance my champion, because maybe we're going to get at least one more cast and stack up some more Frostbite onto the boss. And I'll play a Train Steward here, just to put a blocker for my Cold Salia. So, okay. So this boss comes in with spikes too. We're seeing that both of my backline units are going to die from spikes. However, we were able to build up so much armor already on our Guard of the Unnamed that it's already looking good, and we're showing that we're going to win. So let's just dump our spells, get more armor. Alright, just let it play out. Feels good, man. Alright. Okay, choose a card. Do we want another Mollusk Mage? Probably not. Guardian Stone, Incant, gain 2 armor. That gives us more frontline blockers for our weaker units right now. I mean, Guard of the Unnamed honestly feels like an even better version of that. I don't know, Andrew, balance on these two. Feeling off here for me. This guy gains 5 armor on Incant, and he's 15-20 versus a 0-6 that can never attack, gaining 2. It is 1 capacity slot less. So it's interesting. We'll think about the Guardian Stone. Or Helical Crystals deal 10 damage to the front enemy unit twice. Pretty cool. benefits from magic power pretty well. Not super compelling though because of the end game. I'll try the Guardian Stone. Let's give it a shot so you guys can see what a totem unit looks like. Alright, choose a card. From the Awoken. Pyro Shards. Another Pyro Shards. Pyro Shards is great on the Guard of the Unnamed, but I don't know if it's too much of a good thing to have 3 of them. Restoration Detonation. You restore 20 health and deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to the amount healed. This doesn't feel very good for me right now. I mean, my big health unit, the Guard of the Unnamed, usually has a lot of armor, in which case Restoration Detonation does nothing, because it doesn't need to be healed. And my really low health units die so quickly anyways, they don't have a big health pool to build up for that. Or another Ensnare on offer. Root 1, draw 1. I don't know. I'm leaning towards either Pyro Shards or Ensnare. Or nothing. I mean, Pyro Shards, like, it triggers Incant. That's the thing that's, like, feels the most juicy about it right now. And it already has Consume, so there's no drawback for the late game. I'm gonna go Pyro Shards. Go greedy on those. Okay. We're in the Bogworm's Remains now, so do we want to go left, where we get a Hell Vent to duplicate a card, gain an artifact, and have the Concealed Caverns event, or do we go right to get the Merchant of Magic, an Awoken Unit draft, and the Concealed Caverns? So I know some people always go for the artifact if it's on offer. Yeah, the Merchant of Magic is not super appealing to me right now, although if you get there is one upgrade that removes Consume, and if you get that upgrade, it permanently removes it, and Seraph cannot re-add Consume. So that is, like, there's a reason to gamble on going to the Merchant of Magic. You might get that upgrade, in which case, for us right now, the only Consume we have is Pyro Shards, but we could have Pyro Shards we just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. An Awoken unit, we could get like another frontline blocker, but I don't think we need it. I think I'm gonna go this way. I like taking my artifact first. Okay, so we've got 2. We got one from the kind of shared pool for all clans called Iron Drop Cage. Applies daze 2 to the enemy units that are moved between floors outside of the Ascension phase. Right now we have no cards that can ascend or descend units during our turn. So this does not look very appealing. And we got Sigiled Seaweed. Enemy units enter with silence. So this is, I think, a status that we haven't seen yet on stream. So silence disables triggered abilities. Those are those purple abilities. And this can be good. So all enemy units have their triggers blocked. I'm definitely going to take that. That could be quite good for us to get rid of some annoying abilities later. Alright. Well, I went into the Hell Vent, but I'm actually going to cancel that. I'm going to go to the Concealed Caverns first and see if we get something out of here that might be interesting to copy. Alright. The Boneshaker stops near the abandoned remains of a train. Looking to have belonged to a merchant of trinkets, the train still seems to have some wares. A few remaining goods from the clans of the Hellhorned, Stygian Guard, and Umbra, new clan, are out in the open for the taking. But taking something may cause the abandoned remains to fall to pieces. Which clan's artifact do you take from the collapsing train? Now, anyone who's played the public beta and has watched our streams and has seen the Stygian Guard is screaming at me right now to pick Umbra. And it would be fun, but I'm not going to. Alright, so the question is between Hellhorned and Stygian Guard, which one do I want to take? A random Hellhorn consumable card, or a random Stygian Guard consumable card. I roughly know what these do, but of course I'm probably going to forget one of them. But Stygian Guard is more new to people, so why don't we take one of those and just see what we get. Alright, we got Crystalline Seeds, which is a cool one. So we're building, we got another synergy on building to a Frostbite strategy. It's a consume card, cost 0, works well with Incant as well. Apply Frostbite 3 to all enemy units in the room. Tempting, may want to duplicate that too. Alright. Oh! We're not done yet, we can take another. Thanatos168 says, so I assume this event always offers the clans you don't have. Well, we are playing as the Stygian Guard, so no. It's giving us, that was one of the options. I don't remember exactly how it works, Brendan. If you're in chat, you can tell people how it works, but yeah, you get a random selection of 3 clans, I think. Alright. And let's pick Hellhorn. What do we get? We got Rage Serum, so that's one of the obvious Hellhorn ones. Not super fantastic, but it does also trigger Incant and costs 0, so not too bad. Alright. And I guess... Oh, we got some new text here. You carefully retrieve the item from the wreckage, trying your best not to disturb the train any further. But the train collapses under its own weight, making any other items of value impossible to obtain. So, you head back on your way. So I was only able to pick 2 out of the 3 options there. Alright, now let's go to the Hellbent. What do we want to duplicate? Crystalline Seeds is an interesting target. If we don't have some of the really awesome enabler artifacts for Frostbite, but we can gamble that we're going to get them, and it does still interact with Incant, and we have 2 Incant units now. It's also pretty tempting to duplicate the Guard of the Unnamed, considering how good that unit is. However, we have no upgrades on it right now, which would be a little sad, duplicating it pre-upgrades. We get a lot of consume cards now, which is kind of interesting. There's artifacts that interact with that as well. Alright, I'm going to duplicate Crystalline Seeds. Let's go for it. Let's just go all in on and gamble that we will get the synergy we need for a Frostbite strategy. Alright, Daedalus, creator of the devices used by the Disciples. This disgraced professor has arrived in Hell to support Seraph and the Winged with explosive devices. Alright, and this variant of Daedalus has the Explosive Sigil. When I kill enemies, they deal 2 damage to the front unit on death. It's not like Spikes exactly, but also bad. We can't have any weak frontline units because they will die to this Explosive Sigil. Oh! But look at this! From our Sigiled Seaweed artifact, all enemy units are silenced. That means this bomb, Daedalus always spawns these bombs, and this little silence visual is meant to kind of go over the head of the unit, which looks funny on all these guys. It looks extra funny on the bomb, just sitting there on its quote-unquote head. I'm doing air quotes here. But that means this bomb's on-turn effect isn't going to happen, so these bombs are not going to blow up. So that's a major threat kind of eliminated. However, these clergymen are still 5-1 units with rage when they spawn in, so... Well, I could blow them all up with Crystalline Seeds, I guess, but let's think about what we want to do. So, I'm probably going to start setting up here on the 2nd floor, because I just don't want to take a big wave of damage from those guys. So I'll spawn my guard, I'll spawn my champion. Well, that's unfortunate. I can't cast Energy Siphon to get the Incant trigger here. I don't want to play the Guardian Stone in here. I'll throw Spell Weakness, on Daedalus just to start building that up. That could be useful later. And I'll probably Crystalline Seeds. It'll just give me more time to set up. So that's going to put an AoE Frostbite on everybody. It means everybody in this room is going to die, and Daedalus is going to take a little damage. Probably put my Guardian Stone up here just to get out of my hand and cast it. We can put some other units behind it later. Oh, this Sigil Seaweed, I'm also just remembering. Okay, Explosive Sigil is also a trigger. So these units all have an extinguished trigger, deal 2 damage to the front enemy unit. We could not have asked for a better artifact against this. Magnus Butter asks, if the bomb doesn't have a head, does it trigger? Kappa. Interesting question. Do you need a head to trigger? Well, evidence suggests you do not. Do you need a head to put this effect on you? Apparently also not. Alright, so let's do Pyro Shards onto our frontline blocker. Gives him some armor. It's great. I probably am going to let this room just kind of simmer here and just cast my spells in this room to start building up some armor. So that gives us some armor. That deals damage to Daedalus, gives us some armor. Probably put the Cold Salia behind the Guardian Stone here. Alright, that was nice too. We got some damage through to Daedalus. So for anybody who's never seen this game before, the flying bosses can move freely up and down the side of the train. However, if you're able to get rid of all of the enemy units that are in front of them, you're able to deal damage to them kind of ahead of the Relentless mode. And the Relentless mode is when they get powered up and extra strong and then start climbing your train. Oh, another thing that I haven't said, just for anybody who might be watching this for the first time, because our play has been so perfect so far, no enemy units have even made it up into this top floor here, where the last shard of the Pyro resides. This is how you die. When an enemy gets up here, they start attacking your Pyro, and when your Pyro's health goes to 0, then you lose. But that hasn't happened. Alright, so we're under no threat here because the bombs don't actually blow up because their triggers have been silenced. So what do I want to do? Is it tempting to start building up some armor in here? Yeah, maybe. But I don't really care that much. I'm really focused on building up armor on my Guard of the Unnamed, so I'm going to keep casting my spells. Is there anything I want to do here? I'll throw Rage onto my champion. I'll just cast another spell pointlessly because I want to keep building up that armor. It's a good thing we had spikes to get rid of those backline guys. Okay, definitely going to put the Mollusk Mage in here. So +2 magic power on this floor. I didn't point this out last time, but if we look at Restore, it normally does, like if we look on our deck, it normally does, restores 3 health. But in this room, if I cast in this room, it restores 5 health. Up here it's 3 health because the Mollusk Mage only enhances the room that he's in. Alright, so might as well Crystalline Seeds here. It's going to hit Daedalus. We're going to get some more damage on him. I'll probably do Steel Enhancer on my champion, make him a little more damagey, a little more healthy. And do we need to heal anybody? Nope. I'm going to cast Preserve to get another card. Choose a card to gain Frozen. Well, I don't need to put Frozen on Fire Shards because I'm just going to do it, cast it right now. Get another Incant trigger. It is feeling good. Alright, what do I want to do? For our greed, now we got 3 Pyro Shards on this guy and keep up building armor. It's looking great. Okay, all those guys are dead. Down here, I'll throw Energy Siphon onto Daedalus. And then I'm just going to cast some spells kind of pointlessly here just to keep gaining Incant triggers. Alright. Jada Jordy asks, with the coronavirus scare, is it going to delay your Awesome Games release date? No, it is not going to. So, good news on that. Thankfully, we are all able to continue working on the game. So although it is definitely inconvenient for us to not be able to use our office, for example, it should not delay the release. Alright. What do we want to do here? I could put more Energy Siphon and get more spell weakness on Daedalus, but I kind of just want to keep building armor. That feels better. So I'm just going to cast all my spells in here. Alright, I'll save the Frozen Lance. Daedalus, I bet it's not looking good. The preview confirms it's not. Let's get some more armor. Boom! Alright, he's gone. He died to my spikes. Alright. Okay, so after every boss, for anyone who hasn't seen the game, you get to choose between 3 artifacts that are always the same. 1 gives us an additional 1 Ember per turn. We have a lot of zero-cost consume cards, so I haven't really felt too Ember constrained. 1 gives you an additional card draw every turn. Although a lot of players have said they don't really like this one. I actually like it a lot, and I'm finding I'm picking it more and more the more I play the game. Just because it gives you more options every turn. And we've got Herzl's Compound, which gives us +1 capacity on every floor. That's kind of tempting, because Guard of the Unnamed is 3, and right now, I mean, like, what would be crazy is if we could get Guard of the Unnamed and Guardian Stone into the same floor with something that does damage, like our champion, for example. So Herzl's Compound's definitely got some appeal. Light of Seraph's got some appeal for me as well. Debating it. Late game, we're not going to need card draw, because we're going to burn through all our spells completely because they're going to blow up against Seraph. So probably Herzl's Compound is the safer choice this time. If we had a different Seraph, I probably would go Light of Seraph. But since we don't, I'm going to take the Compound. Alright, choose a card. Okay, we've got a couple here. So Shard Channeler, 1 capacity slot from the Awoken clan. Spikes on friendly units deal +2 damage per stack. That might actually be awesome, because you saw in our last battle, we got all 3 Pyro Shard cards cast onto Guard of the Unnamed. He's got super high armor from all that Incant buildup. And then if we have the Shard Channeler in the same room, we just took extra capacity. Instead of dealing 12 damage per hit, it would be 36 with all his armor. That's pretty darn good. We got Harness the Titan, enhance all spells in hand with +3 magic power. Definitely not going for that because of our Seraph, and we're not really focusing on boosting magic power this run. And the last is the Spike of the Stygian. It's a Consume X card. It applies X Sap and X Frostbite. I like that card a lot, actually, and as we're going for a Frostbite, we're hoping for a Frostbite strategy here. That's not bad, although we don't have any great ways to like really boost our Ember that much, and we just didn't take the Ember upgrade. So I actually think, although it seems kind of crazy, I'm going to choose the Shard Channeler. I mean, the problem with him is, like, if our strategy goes off the rails, if our Guard of the Unnamed dies, or we, like, draw really poorly multiple times in a row, it might not be the best, but I'm going to try it. Okay, we got 3 units from the Awoken Clan. We've got the Animus of Will, a high damage, low health unit with Quick. I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, having Quick innately is pretty darn good, but I don't know. We've got a lot of low health units already. Husk Hermit, 220 sweep. Sweep is always good. We do already have a sweep unit with Frostbite. And we've got the Wilting Sapwood with Revenge, gain 1 Ember, and we just took the capacity upgrade. Yeah, we have a lot of 0-cost cards. However, frontline blockers are good. And Ember gain, I always like it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's always nice to have more Ember. I don't know, but we have so many 0 cards. I need to purge. I'm just thinking here. I need to get rid of these Train Stewards. I don't want them anymore. Do you go for the Husk Hermit or the Wilting Sapwood here? I think I'm eliminating the Animus of Will from my decision. I only want to take the Wilting Sapwood if I'm using him in the front of a room. And I'm using the Guard of Unnamed for sure in the front of at least one room. And I might be using the Guardian Stone in the front of another room or in the same room. So it could be a blocker in like a separate room I'm setting up in. Yeah, I'll try it. I don't know. What does chat think? What would you pick? Wilting. Steve Shiny says Wilting. All right. I'll wait just a sec to see if there's any other votes here. I was leaning towards the Wilting Sapwood as well. All right, well. Okay, everybody's saying go the Sapwood. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here we are in the Waxen Arches. Okay, we can go left. We can get a Purge from the Unstable Vortex. I want to permanently remove cards from my deck. I want to get rid of those Train Stewards. We get a copy, Hellvent, and we get Pyro Remains to restore Pyro health. We don't need that, but the Purge is really appealing. So is the Hellvent. We do have 250 gold, and on the other side, we've got a Merchant of Steel, another Stygian unit, and gold. And we've got the guild marker, so we can buy more. So as badly as I want to purge from here, I'm probably going to go this way out of my greed of like hoping we get some awesome unit upgrades. Like I'd love to get like damage upgrade on Cold Salia, for example, for my quick sweep. What else could I get that would be useful? Getting more health on the Shard Channeler maybe, or could keep him healthy and alive. All right, let's do it. Take gold, see what units we get. Another Guard of the Unnamed, or Cold Salia. I don't think I need another one of either of these. I would rather copy one after putting upgrades on it, so I'm actually going to skip. See what people think about that decision in the chat. Okay. Ooh. Multi-strike. Definitely putting that on somebody. And we got Heartstone, plus 15 health, and Emberstone, -1 Ember cost. Okay. We're definitely taking multi-strike. Who do we put it on? It would be good on Guard of the Unnamed, then he's doing 30 damage a turn. I like putting multi-strike on sweep units. especially with quick, because they attack first. That would mean attacking first twice, although 1 damage is not very inspiring. However, with multi-strike, it would put Frostbite 4 on everybody. So what... Like, I think the safer choice is to put it on the Guard of the Unnamed. Oh, okay, we already have an upgrade. Sorry, we put Speedstone on here. So if we put it on Cold Celia, we do not have an extra upgrade slot to put anything else on her. I want to put a damage upgrade on her. So I'm going to put Multi-Strike on Guard of the Unnamed because of that. As badly as I wanted to put it on here. One thing I'll say that we haven't run into this, but we added there's 2 new artifacts in the game that are not in the public beta. There's one for spells and one for units, and these artifacts add a 3rd upgrade slot on either units or spells. It's an awesome new addition. I wish I had it right now so that I could boost my Cold Celia more. Maybe we'll get it later, but I'm going to put Multi-Strike on my Guard of the Unnamed. And okay, so I'm going to re-roll for sure, because I want to see if I can get another interesting rare here. So my question is, do I re-roll or do I take the Heartstone first and then re-roll? So if I do both of those, I'll have to pay 80 gold. It means I'll be down to 140. I think I would still have enough to buy something. I don't know. I mean, I could put, now that I don't know, like I'm tempted to put damage on the Guard of the Unnamed now, because he's going to get healthier through armor. I don't really care about lowering the unit cost on anything on this run, so I'm just going to re-roll right now. Okay, we got Quick again. Quick and Multi-Strike, pretty darn good combination. So we've got 180 gold right now. So what I'd probably do is put Quick on the Guard of the Unnamed and put Strength Stone onto Cold Celia. So we've got Multi-Strike, Quick, Incant Armor 5. This guy's awesome. Definitely want to copy him later. Upgraded unit with +6. So we want to put this on Cold Celia. She's got Quick. So if we can get her into a room where she can take out backline units by hitting them with 7 damage, which a lot of backline units are weaker than 7 health. So that seems like an obvious choice to me. And we've got some more gold. I really want to purge. Let's get the Train Stewards out of our deck. That's my #1 target right now. We're 5 gold short from doing it again. Let's look at the next map section. Is there any purge? Oh, there is not. That is rough. We might have to go... Yeah, we'll see what happens. We might want to get more gold to buy more purges. So I'm hoping to run into an unstable vortex soon, but let's go into this battle first. All right, so normally we set up these streams for an hour, and it's already been 54 minutes because I'm talking so much, but, you know, it's Friday. Let's just keep playing. Let's try to finish this run completely, even if it takes 2 hours. All right. This battle, the Clip Guard and new boss. These clipped grow in strength each time they ascend your train. Take them out before they become unstoppable. So it's especially this blue guy with his arms raised here. They gain attack damage every time they ascend, so we definitely want to kill them as fast as we can in the lowest floor. So I really hope on our first turn we draw our Guard of the Unnamed and can play him down there. Ancient Hate Trial, Spell Shield. Reward 100 coins. Spell Shield isn't great for us because it blocks things like Frozen Lance and so on, but like we're starting to get some good attack firepower through normal unit damage, so, and I really want gold, and especially as we saw in the next map section, there's no unstable vortex to purge, so I'm going to take it. We've been doing really well, too. We haven't even taken any pirate damage yet. Oh, these guys are silenced! Oh my god, this artifact! It's doing so well! Sigiled Seaweed, thank you! The Resolve trigger is the thing that gives them more attack damage as they climb. They're screwed. They can't get any extra damage. And we got our Guard of Unnamed. And we got Pyro Shards. And we got our champion, of course. Let's cast Preserve. What do we want to save? Alright, well, I'm going to cast the Frozen Lance, so what the hell? Let's save this Train Steward. Oh, well, they had Spell Shield, so it didn't do anything, but we got another trigger for our Incant here and got some more armor. Okay, quick, Cold Celia. Ooh, tempting. Now we have enough capacity from our Herzer's compound. We can put her in this room, which will kill all of these guys. It's also somewhat tempting to put her up here just to kill these, but I think we can just use Crystalline Seeds to get the same effect. We'll put Frostbite 3 on everybody. We'll get the Collector Gold. We'll kill this guy. Let's do that. All right, now we've got our Cold Celia down here. I feel like the Cold Steel, like I'm trying to determine if I should put her in front or behind the champion. I feel like she's actually arguably more valuable than the champion, so let's put her in the back in this particular run here. All right, let's boost these guys up. Both of these guys die to frostbite. Oh, I'm feeling really good. I think we can just play this one out really quickly. Oh, just keep unloading the Pyro shards. I'll just toss the Looking Sapwood up here, why not? These guys are just getting wrecked. Ah, well, the one thing I misplayed here. Okay, I'm going to be definitely tempted if we beat the level 6 boss spell. I'm going to want to take another Herzl's Compound, because what I want in my ultimate room of power here is I also want to put the Shard Channeler in here to boost the spikes damage from the Guard of the Unnamed more than anything, but it doesn't fit, unfortunately. All right, what do I want to do? I just want to keep casting spells. I just want to keep building armor. Alright, I might as well play some other stuff in here, so... I mean, Guardian Stone, like, I'm not really going to be casting spells up here because I'm so motivated to keep casting spells down there. So Guardian Stone's feeling kind of like a pointless pick at this point. I'll put the Train Steward up there. Ooh, okay. Well, let's put Rage on somebody. Let's put Rage on our multi-strike unit. I'm tempted to cast Crystalline Seeds, even though it's technically throwing it away, because I know the boss is coming next turn, and it will just give us another Incant, so I'm actually going to do it. Who do I want to put the boost on? Put him on the front line, right? Unless this boss does AoE damage. I cannot remember if it does or not, so let's hope it does not. There are some new bosses that do. What does this boss do? He's got a Slay trigger, but guess what? He's silenced. Okay, silence is awesome. Let's just put it that way. So his trigger's not going to do anything. It's already showing he's dead. Let's just cast some spells and get some armor. Get a little bit more. All right, feeling good. And the Frostbite is really going to pile up on this boss. This run is feeling fantastic. Choose a card. More Crystalline Seeds. It's always tempting to take these zero-cost cards that trigger Incant. I guess the only risk is just that we get so many that it becomes like a clogging our deck is a problem, but they do have Consume, so when you cast them, they do go away. Ancient Synergy. Deals damage equal to the front unit equal to the number of spells in your deck twice. Not super appealing to me right now. It deals 18 damage. Cuddle Hex, unit end of turn, apply Frozen to a random card in your hand. We're not really, like, our strategy is dump our spells as fast as we possibly can, not waiting for Frozen to, like, allow us to cast them later. We're not, like, we don't have, like, really big spells that, like, do a ton of damage that we want to save for the perfect moment to use. Like a spell from the Hellhorn that I really like to have frozen in my hand is Inferno, which is like a huge AoE damage, does 100 damage piercing to both sides, your side and the enemy. It can be hard to time that spell. It can be hard to know when to use that. So having it frozen in your hand for the perfect timing is really nice. We're not doing that. That's not part of our strategy. So I think I'm actually just going to go another Crystalline Seeds. Okay, ooh, from our Awoken. Restoring Retreat is really tempting. To send a unit and restore 10 health. I don't care about the healing at all. The reason why this is really tempting is because it's going to allow us to break capacity rules in the floor. When you cast a spell that moves units up or down, ascends or descends them, it allows you to move them into full rooms. So this would be a way to push, for example, where's that unit? The Shard Channeler that I wanted last time, I could push him into the room even if the room was already full, which is interesting. However, the utility of this card outside of that is probably fairly low, because as you can see, we're like never healing basically. So, I don't know. Speaking of never healing, Restore is kind of sucky too, as you know, thinking of something that we could also purge. It does trigger Incant and it only costs 1, so that's decent, but what are other options? Adaptive Mutation, consume, restore a friendly unit to full health and swap their attack and health. It's kind of interesting. I mean, Guard of the Unnamed, its attack and health is similar. Yeah, I don't think it's that good this time. You could swap Wilting Sapwood's attack and health, so it'd be a 45. But we're kind of using him as a frontline blocker, so not super appealing. Invigorating Solution is pretty much just always good. Consume, draw 3, cost 1. If we end up at a Spell Merchant Ever, we could pray for a remove Consume and cast it on that. That's like an extremely good card to remove Consume on, because then you have additional card draw, and if you can get it to cost 0 with another upgrade, then it's even better. So I guess this time I'm going between Invigorating Solution and Restoring Retreat, and thinking about which one is more likely to be useful for me this time. And I think within our Incant triggers, I'm probably going to go Invigorating Solution. It's tempting to get the room capacity breaking effects of Restoring Retreat, but if I can get Consume off of this, like we have all these 0-cost cards, it helps me draw more of them. I'm going to go Invigorating Solution. Jada Jordy says, that artifact was the best one you could have drawn. Yeah, I mean, we're getting really lucky, too, with Sigiled Seaweed, that there's like a lot of different battles. So if you're seeing the game for the first time, like within the Wax and Arches, the battle that we get is not guaranteed to be the same. I can't remember how many there are. There's like 4 or 5 different battles you can roll on every run, and we're getting ones that are trigger-based battles. So yes, on this run, it has been fantastic to have that because it's kind of eliminating the effect of all these triggers. And Thanatos168 says, if you remove Consume on both the Draw spell and the Frostbite spell, you get an infinite combo against the end boss once all your other spells are consumed. Yes, that sounds true. If we can get them all out of our hand, like our deck's getting bigger than I normally play. I normally play with a deck hovering around like 22 cards and try to purge to get it to that point. So we have 29 cards. We've got a ton of Consume cards. So, yeah, all right. So now we have 260 gold. On the left, we've got an artifact. We've got the Merchant of Steel. We can boost our units, although our Cold Salia and our Guard of the Unnamed are already at max upgrade slots. We could gamble and pray that Herzl's Horde is one of those new... it gives us one of the new artifacts that would allow us to get an extra slot. That would be sweet if that happened, but unlikely. Or we could go to the right, where we get a Merchant of Magic, gold, and a Concealed Caverns event, and either way, we're going to get a Dark Forge to upgrade our champion. So, I'm kind of tempted to go for the Merchant of Magic, because I would be very happy if we were able to remove Consume, off of Invigorating Solution especially. I mean, removing it off of Crystalline Seeds is pretty good too, but... And we get gold. We can also buy some more purges there. I mean, everyone loves artifacts. I am feeling strong already. We might get something interesting from the Concealed Caverns. We'd see a new event. I don't know. I'm going to go this way. I'm going for it. Okay, take our gold. I'm going to go to the Concealed Caverns first because it might give us a card that we could be interested in upgrading. What is this one? Ember deposits, frozen in place, collect around openings in the ground. A byproduct of the pyre, these energy sources have gone dormant. At closer inspection, one mound of this rubble seems to have something more powerful protruding from it. Well, you could take the protrusion. Removing some of the ember deposits and hauling them from the area would help to eventually revive them with some power, granting you something later on. What do you decide to take? If I take the protrusion, I get Abandoned Stave and 2 Vengeful Shards. Abandoned Stave is +1 Ember per turn for every 2 Blight cards in your deck. Vengeful Shard costs 1. It has reserve, and your Pyre takes 1 damage. So we have a big deck, bigger than normal for me at least, with 29 cards. However, if we keep casting all our Consume cards, which we have a lot of, we will eventually have not much in our hand, and we will be drawing Vengeful Shard every turn. And I think Blight cards don't count for Incant. So that's an argument against them. If they did, I would definitely take this. However, it's like +1 Ember per turn at the drawback of we're going to have these Blights in our deck for the rest of the game. So, I don't know. Or we remove the Rubble. And if we remove the Rubble, we gain something later on. And these are another Blight. They cost 3, and they have Purge. So, I mean, I've seen this before, so I kind of know what's going to happen. If we keep these ones, if we keep them in our deck for a while, for a couple of battles, we're going to get a reward later. So, get upgraded versions later, it says right here as well. So, I don't know. I don't feel like this feels like a gamble that could backfire, like taking the protrusion here. Like, an extra Ember every turn sounds good. It's kind of mitigated by the size of our deck, but we've got a ton of consume stuff. So, I'm probably not going to take that. I might take this just for fun, just so we can see if we can... We're doing really well, like, maybe the upgraded version of these guys is going to be good. I can't remember exactly what it does, so it's kind of new to me in terms of forgetting that. Let's try it. Let's just give it a shot. Hopefully I will not regret that decision. Alright, let's go to the Merchant of Magic now. Holdover. Upgrade a spell with Holdover. Is there anything I want to put Holdover on? Holdover is not great because of our Consume boss. Holdover on Preserve's pretty good. Do we have anything? Okay, we've got 2 other magic power upgrades. What else can we put Holdover on? Holdover on Steel Enhancer is pretty good. Could just keep buffing. Holdover on Energy Siphon's not appealing. Definitely not on Frozen Lance or Restore. So, I'd say Holdover on Steel Enhancer is kind of appealing, but it's going to be a wasted 100 gold by the time we get to Seraph. Upgrading something with magic power. Nah, I don't really care about that right now. So, I'm tempted to just re-roll and hope for better upgrades. I'm gonna try it. Permafrost, damn. I really wanted to remove Consume, and I didn't get it. Upgrading a spell to cost -1. I'm definitely tempted to put that on Invigorating Solution. Yeah, let's do that. And let's just hope that later we can remove Consume off of it. Give something 4 magic power again. Don't really care. Permafrost. Permafrost means it sits in our hand until we want to cast it. Is there anything like that I want to put Permafrost on? Not really. Because of our Incant strategy, I just kind of want to dump everything all the time. So I'm not going to buy that. But the good news is, that means we've got gold for purging. Let's purge some stuff. Let's get rid of these Train Stewards. They're doing nothing for us. Alright. Dark Forge, what do we want to take? So, we can take Chill Wind 2. That's the next in the line of upgrades for Frostbite. It'll make our Frostbite attack go to 6, and it slightly buffs our attack and health. Or do we take Conduit? Damage spells cast on this floor cost -1 Ember. I think I'm going to stick to, like, building up Frostbite. We've got some... I mean, we don't have, like, all the awesome Frostbite artifacts, but... Cold Salia is building up Frostbite, Tethys is building up Frostbite, Crystalline Seeds is building up Frostbite, so let's stick to our Frostbite strategy and go with that upgrade. Harvesters of Death. Death-obsessed Clipped, who gains strength with every kill. I wonder if that's a trigger, because if it is, then they can suck it, because we've got Sigiled Seaweed. Alright, enemy units gain armor 10 for 100 coins. I love coins. I mean, I think these guys have kind of high health, so there's some risk we're going to take some pyro damage, but we're at full health. Let's take it. Oh, so nice. Everything's a trigger. The Sycophant Extinguish gives extra damage when they die. Not anymore. And the Overcharged Tank gains armor when they die. Not anymore. Alright, let's just get the party started. So, we've got Crystalline Seeds. We can kill the Collector with Frozen Lance. We don't have any units. It's tempting to cast Preserve to see if we can draw a unit. Alright, well, let's start with just Frozen Lance instead. I want that gold. I'm gonna Crystalline Seeds in here. I'm gonna Steel Enhance. Who should I Steel Enhance? I don't know, probably my Multi-Strike guy. Get more value. I'll Energy Siphon in here just to get another Incant. Let's cast Preserve in here, get another Incant. Freeze the Shard Channeler. We don't really need him, so it's good to draw the extra card that way. draw some more cards. Alright, what can we do here? So I could throw Energy Siphon and get one decent Frozen Lance off on there, or I could just build armor. I'm probably just going to let this guy into the Pyre, I think. I mean, if I did Energy Siphon and Frozen Lance, he'd probably die in one Pyre hit. I'd take 5 damage instead of 10. Yeah, I might do that. It's tempting, like, this guy, we only have 24 armor, and I know the boss is going to be strong here, so it's also tempting to build armor. I'm just going to build armor. I'm going to take the damage. Alright, let's Rage Serum our Incant buddy. Okay, now we're going to get some value out of the Wilting Sapwood. We're going to get some Ember next turn. Take 14 damage, not quite enough. Let's get some more armor. I don't want to take a ton of damage again, so put the Moss Mage here. Guy's frozen. Normally I would cast him to get him out of my hand, but it doesn't matter. I really want to build up armor though. He's gonna take 15. That'll take him to 34. That means he'll get 2 rounds of combat. All right, I'm gonna hit him with that. Now he will only hit my Pyro once. And I'm gonna cast these other 2 down here. I'm gonna throw away Crystalline Seeds. I want more armor. I'm hopeful I'm gonna be able to kill the boss on the first round of combat. Or, not on the first round of combat, but before he can climb. Which it looks like I am. So, boss is showing in preview already. Let's go ahead and just dump our spells to get more. And appreciate Wilting Sapwood. Thank you for the extra Ember. Good call, guys, on picking that. Alright, he's not gonna get to climb. There's a ton of Frostbite building up. Look at that. We've got over 30 Frostbite on this boss now. Alright. Another big blob of gold. Okay. Urchin Spines. Consume. We're seeing some new cards here from Stygian. Apply spell weakness 2 to enemy units. Don't really care that much. We're not doing an offensive spell casting strategy. But it is a 0-cost consume card that's a free Incant trigger. Unnamed Tome. Apply silence. Cost 0. We don't need silence because we're getting silence for free on 100% of units from Sigiled Seaweed. Might be OP. It's feeling a bit OP right now, but I did take 20 damage that fight, so we'll see. And another Preserve. I don't really want another Preserve, so I guess my question is, do I want to take one of these 0-cost cards to just get more triggers? And I feel like no, I don't, because I already have a big deck and I've already got stuff that synergizes with what I want to be doing. So I'm actually going to skip. Alright. From Awoken Clan, Preserve Thorns. Consume, gain 3 Sting. That's not bad. Sting cards are free, and you get all 3 of them in your hand at the same time, so that's like a pretty darn good enabler for Incant triggers. Awoken's Rail Spike, X cost, consume, draw X, enhance all cards with -2 Ember. I don't like that this game. We have so much that costs 0 already, and it's all going to be consumed in the final boss, and another Invigorating Solution, which I don't know. I'm going to go Preserve Thorns, actually. This is like a really good Incant combo trigger. Okay, on the left we have a Trinket Merchant. Should this be called the Merchant of Artifacts? I think somebody else has said that before. Maybe so. I don't know. We've got a lot of gold, 375, and the guild marker. We can probably buy all artifacts there if we want to. We got a Purge. I don't want to purge as much as I used to anymore. I got rid of all of those Train Stewards and Restore, even though it's kind of pointless. We're not healing. It's still like a cheap trigger for our Incants, which we care a lot about. Or we get a Hellvent. We could heal our Pyro back up to full and get even more gold. Is there anything we desperately want to copy right now? I mean, copying Guard of the Unnamed would be really good, but I'm finding that, like, we're wanting to boost one room really hard strategically in this particular run. So having another Guard of the Unnamed in a different room is like a hedge. You know, it's not really as useful. I'm sort of feeling duplicating as zero, like Invigorating Solution is like a great duplication target. Free draw for 0. I'm gonna go this way. I want to get some more artifacts, so all right. Let's first go to the Concealed Caverns and see what we get. All right, I recognize this one. The Boneshaker makes its way through an abandoned train yard. The once bustling workshop is now eerily silent and empty, picked over by scavengers. Though in the rubble, you're able to make out a couple of things that may be useful. A large hook and some quick release doors. Do you salvage anything from the train yard? So, Trap Shoot, cost 0, consumed. Send a unit to the bottom floor, apply daze 2. I like my 0 cost strategy for Incant triggers, or Steel Pulley Claw, consume, send an enemy unit to the Pyro room, apply daze 3. I think in this run I'd probably take the doors, if anything. Has some nice utility, cost 0, it's an Incant trigger. Even if you cast it on an enemy that's already in the bottom floor, you just get daze 2 for free. So, not bad, I'll take that. You enlist the help of the crew to install the doors, giving you more control over the location of any invaders in the Boneshaker via quick ejection. So, this isn't said all the time, but the Boneshaker is the name of the train. I'm gonna look at my artifacts first before I purge, so what do we get? And we can reroll at this merchant as well, which can be extremely good. Okay, what do we got? Root Split Mask. Apply rooted to enemy units when they enter the floor below the Pyro room. Not bad with our strategy, actually, because we're building up Frostbite. So if they're rooted, they're going to take another round of Frostbite before they go into the Pyro. Split Anvil. After playing a spell, spells in your hand with a lower ember cost are free. This is garbage, I feel, for us right now, because so many of our spells cost 0 already. If we had, like, higher cost spells, this would be good, but for our deck, not good. Totem Fragment. Apply Spell Weakness 2 to enemy units when they enter the floor below the Pyro room. I think this is... Yeah, we're not going for, like, an offensive spell deck, so the best one of these on offer is Root Split Mask for our deck, I believe. So I'm tempted to buy that and then reroll. So let's do that. What do we get here? So we got Jack Strips. Deal 2 damage whenever an enemy moves between floors. That's good. It's just free damage, basically, and it got buffed recently. It used to be 1. Some people in the public beta were complaining it was too weak, so we buffed it to 2. We got Cursed Vines, 50% chance to swap the front and the back units when they enter your train. That's not bad. You know, we've got our Guard of the Unnamed has Quick, so that would mean there's a chance, like, backline enchanters and so on could be pulled to the front, and then they could get punched down by our Quick Guard. And the last one is Titan Claws. At the end of the turn, frozen cards get -1. That's really cool if you're building into a frozen kind of synergy strategy, but we're not, so that's not that great. And look, we've got 235 gold, so I'm going to buy Jack Strips, and I'm going to buy Cursed Vines. So now, we're rich with power and artifacts. Okay, Unstable Vortex. Do we even want to purge anything right now? I mean, maybe should we purge like a Restore and purge a Frozen Lance? Or purge 2 Restores? I mean, I think we should. I'm gonna purge a Restore. Frozen Lance is Frozen Lance is more useful. I'm gonna just purge 2 Restores. Let's go. On to Fell. Fell, the wings of light. This clipped warrior has become winged once more, creating statues in her former image to block your assault. With the Eternal Crest, Alabaster Guardians have Spell Shield 5. Usually pretty bad against the Stygian Guard to have 5 Spell Shield, but we don't care that much because we're not going for an offensive spell strategy. We're going for Frostbite and building up tons of armor. And Fel will empower them further with armor, which is definitely annoying, so we'll see how that plays out. Oh, so good. All these guys rooted. All right. I don't see any strong reason to vary from our strategy. I wish we drew our sweep unit this turn, but we did not. So, player chant, play here. Start building that up. Let's get some more damage on him. I don't think I want to play the Mollusk Mage into this room. I want to reserve the space for Cold Salia, so... I'll play him here. Definitely gonna have to hope to get some kind of blocker in front of him this turn. Oh no, we don't! Jackstrips! Thank you, Jackstrips! Thank you! See? Jackstrips is good. Complainers. It's good. Look what it just did. It just wiped out that entire wave. Alright. We got our Cold Salia. Let's put her in here. Yeah, let's throw Crystalline Seeds. We gotta start building this up. Let's cast a Preserve. I don't know, whatever. We're gonna cast this anyways. I guess I could have frozen Calcified Ember. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we just saw the effect of Cursed Vines there. The Sycophant got pulled in front. I mean, it's not as useful because we've got Cold Salia with Sweep and Quick. However, if she was dead or if she wasn't in this room, then pulling the unit to the front would allow the Guard of the Unnamed to kill it first, which would be great. Okay, let's definitely get our Pyro Shards on there. Okay, well, let's draw some cards. So let's cast Invigorating Solution. I so wish we had more capacity. We will soon, though, after I win this battle. Alright, do I want to keep my Mollusk Mage alive more than my Shard Channeler? Yes, I'm just going to chump block here, so the Shard Channeler is going to get killed by the Clipped Reflector here. I guess I could save him too with Trap Shoot, but probably not worth it right now. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go for it right now. I'm going to Trap Shoot Fel. Brings her down here. And then I'm going to Crystalline Seeds. And the Sweep from Cold Salia is going to hit her as well. So we're going to get some benefit from that. Wilting Sapwood, and we can start getting some Ember from that, which is great. Okay, so here's how Preserve Thorns is going to help us. It's Pyro Shards. Going to heal anybody? Nope, but okay, here we go. Preserve Thorns. So we're going to get 3 stings. I'm just going to cast them all immediately because we're going to get so many Incant triggers off of it. Ah, feels good, man. We are wrecking these guys. We're definitely taking a risk, though, because if we can't power this room up enough that it kills Fel, we are pretty much screwed. Like, we're putting all of our eggs in one basket, which is this first floor basket on this particular run as our strategy. Fel's got 783 health still, so I'm going to be looking for any opportunity I can to, like, put some more damage on her. Jaded Jordy says, I like the music. Thank you. And Kavika13 says, that squiddy attack sound is hilarious. Yes. I was thinking the same thing. It makes me laugh every time. Here he comes. I'm just going to start doing that every time for your enjoyment. Alright, good. We can put... Here, let's Energy Siphon Fel. Let's try and build up or some of that. Yep, that's Crystal Seeds. I mean, let's just keep casting everything. We need to keep building armor. That's like our entire strategy is built around killing in this first floor. We haven't yet been able to get a ton of Frostbite onto Fel, so we've got only 6 on her right now. Okay, these stings coming in handy. I'm definitely going to steal Enhance my frontline guys, get more triggers on him. Do I want to play the Guardian Stone? Not really, we don't really cast spells in here, but might as well get him out of my hand, I guess. Normally I would want the Wilting Sapwood to get hit to get the bonus Ember, but I don't think any enemies other than Fel are going to get up there, so I'm going to put him in front. be extra screwed if we don't kill Fel in the first round. Here we go. Ooh, we're not yet. We do have some more stuff we can do, however. So preview is showing that our current room here does not have the firepower to kill Fel. She will still have a little bit of health left over. However, we've got a bunch of spells we can cast, which is going to give us more armor, and we can even deal some more damage here, so I'm feeling pretty good that we're going to get there. And we did. So preview is showing us we're going to get the kill. I'm going to hold down right click, which is the default mapping to speed up the battle, speeds up the game speed. Our frostbite stacks are really starting to stack up. 30 additional damage every turn, 40 additional damage every turn, almost 50 additional damage every turn. There we go. Still feeling good about this deck. All right, so I'm taking capacity because now my dream could come true. I could get that Spikes Enchanter into the same room with our kind of power room, so I'm going for it. Choose a card. Siren Song. Pyrebound. This is a keyword I don't think we've seen yet on stream. Pyrebound can only be cast in the room below the pyre or in the pyre itself. So many people don't know you can cast spells in the pyre room. There's usually no reason to do that. It's usually only because the pyre can't be targeted by anything, basically. The reason to do that is if you cast a spell that causes an enemy to move into the pyre room during your turn, then you can hit them with another spell. Anyway, but Siren Song, Pyrebound, ascend all enemy units on this floor and apply daze 3. It's awesome in some situations. Not looking good for us because we're killing most units on the first floor. The Hoarfrost Effigy. Transfer all Frostbite on this floor to a unit, then double the amount of Frostbite. That can be pretty amazing. If you can build a lot of Frostbite with Sweep, which we have, and Crystalline Seeds, which we also have, and then transfer it all onto a single unit, like a Flying Boss, like onto Seraph. That could be great, although it's kind of a gamble. It costs 2. It's like hard to time it right. If we could freeze it with Preserve, then we could have it in our hands sitting there, which would be nice, but I don't know. Like, I feel like a risky and not really guaranteed to help us. And Spike of the Stygian, again, we got this on offer. It's not bad. You can cast it with 0, which is an argument to take it because it'll trigger Incant when we don't even necessarily need it. Maybe I should take that at this point. I mean, it's just not bad. It adds more Frostbite. I don't know. Yeah, what the hell? Let's take it. Oh, follow-up event. Well, taking those blights didn't hurt us, so let's see what we're going to get. Similar to before, ember deposits are seen I didn't get the right voice. Are seen piled throughout the area. But this time, you can see the ice beginning to melt, revealing the more powerful ember beneath. As if influenced by the warming of its related energy, the calcified ember you removed before starts to melt as well, granting you something much more useful to harness along your journey. Examine the ember. Convert all calcified ember to excavated ember. Excavated ember. Cost 0, consume, gain 2 ember, and draw 1. This is beautiful. This has got buffed since the last time I saw it. And it's a perfect combo with our Incant-based strategy to really boost our Guard of the Unnamed. Thank you, person who put this in the game. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Andrew. All right. Thanatos168 says, is Seraph the one with multi-strike? Sap is extra good there. Yes, Seraph has multi-strike 4, and Sap is extremely good against Seraph. The only problem is that we've got the Seraph variant that devours our spells. So spells that add consume aren't great unless you can get that one upgrade that permanently prevents consume from being put on the card. Because we'd only be able to cast Sap on him once. If we had a different Seraph variant, I definitely would have been drafting Sap much earlier in the run. Alright, so we can go left, get some healing, take the Merchant of Steel, and the... what else do we got? The Herzl's Horde. Sorry, I got distracted for just a second. Boosting our units, like, we can't really boost our units, like, too usefully here. Steve Shiny says rig, pretty much. We can do another Concealed Caverns. I usually don't do so many in a single run, but, like, they're working out pretty well for us. We can copy something. I mean, copying Excavated Ember is just friggin' awesome. It's like free Incant, more Ember, draws another card. It's a great combo. I don't know. I mean, like, our 2 units are full of, that we really care about, are full of upgrades already. Like, we could upgrade the Wilting Sapwood, I guess, but I don't really care about them that much. I mean, getting an artifact, we might get the artifact that allows us to upgrade units further. Having a hard time deciding. Maybe I'll go for it. Let's gamble for it. All right, I mean, just to be safe, we'll take the healing. Please give me the unit upgrade, or the artifact that allows me to upgrade my units more. Please give it to me. Please give it to me. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Pyrostone housing. Sorry if I blew up your eardrums with that, but I got excited. That's just what I wanted. And just to, I mean, Steve said rigged earlier. Now this really feels rigged. Unit cards gain an extra upgrade slot. That means our Cold Salia and our Guard of the Unnamed can be upgraded again. Even more power. Diffuse Mallet, who cares about that? We're taking Pyrostone housing. And the Merchant of Steel's right here. He's right here to help us out. What do we get? Multi-strike. Beautiful. We don't even need to decide. Do we? I don't know. Do we want to... more Frostbite. I don't know. Oh. Okay, I thought this was going to be an easy decision. Now I'm conflicted. Do we want to get more Frostbite building up, or do we want to put it on the Guard of the Unnamed? I don't know. What the hell? Let's put it on Cold Salia. Let's try to get more and more and more and more Frostbite. Plus, like, this is even more backline damage. It's getting crazy, so let's go for it. Then health, or that's one of the other options, or plus attack and plus health. I don't really care about either of those. Let's roll again. Oh no, we don't have much gold. If we re-roll, we're not gonna have too many more options. Damn. That's the only bad thing here. So, okay, I'm gonna leave actually, I'm gonna check the map. So, are there any more unit merchants before the end of the game? No, there are not. So, there's only a Merchant of Magic and a Merchant of Trinkets next. So, I don't know, we might get a gold trial there. I'm trying to just think ahead. I'm probably just gonna spend the gold. You know, it's not exactly what I wanted, but better than nothing. Yeah, let's throw it on. Do we want to put any more gold onto that one? That upgrade? Nah, forget it. Alright, let's go. Retribution. Non-boss enemy units enter with Spikes 5. Get a random artifact. Spikes 5 is really bad. Like, Cold Salia is gonna die on the first wave of enemies that she attacks into immediately with Sweep and Spikes 5. So, Spikes 5 is gonna wreck us, actually. Oh, nice bug. We got 2 bosses! 2 bosses! Oh, and I forgot to read it. Alright, let's read it as well. The Shade Wings. Winged acquainted with the power of death, they consume the souls of their victims to heal and grow stronger. I'm gonna guess those are probably triggers, so they're probably just gonna get screwed again by Sigiled Seaweed, but hopefully there's not 2 bosses. Hope this bug does not actually spawn 2 bosses, but I'm not gonna take this trial. As much as I want a random artifact, Spikes 5 is just gonna destroy us, so I don't want that. Oh, look at that, it's a trigger, it's a Slay trigger. So, these guys are tough though. 5, they've got multi-strike. However, a bunch of our guys have Quick, most importantly, Cold Salia, and we upgraded her with multi-strike too, which I'm now happy that we did that. So, let's just set it up. Set it up again. Good, he's gonna be dead before he can do anything. We need to start building armor. Let's just Crystalline Seeds, even though it's not super useful this turn. So this guy still has a decent, I think it's called the Wing, or the Gilded Wing here, still has a decent amount of health. Okay, so my dream came true. I can now cast a Shard Channeler in here. However, we don't have any spikes yet on the guard, but theoretically we will. I'm going to put him right behind the guard because if the guard's dead, then this guy's useless anyway, so he might as well be a chump blocker for these guys back here. So what can I do? I can get the Collector if I trap shoot it, because it'll get hit by Sweep, which is tempting. I could also trap shoot the Gilded Wing, which would put a lot more pressure on it. I don't know, should we just go Greed? We got full health, what the hell. Let's trap shoot the Collector, now he's dead, we're gonna get the gold. Now we gotta start doing some casts. We're gonna start building up our armor, because we are still taking damage down here. Like, we're not able to really build up a ton of armor yet, which is not great for us. Oh, so there's that artifact root split mask helping us out here. So he's going to take another, like he's rooted, he's not going to move, he's going to take more frostbite, which is great. All right, good. Now we're going to start getting some spikes on him. So spikes on him. Look at this. We got our excavated ember. Gain 2 ember and draw 1. Let's definitely cast that. And we get an incant trigger. Get another one. We don't need to cast it, but you know what the hell. More incant. Let's. Ooh, now possibly tempting to put the enhancement on Cold Salia instead, because of her backline potential. Yeah, I'm going to. Crystalline Seeds this room. Keep casting. If I cast Mullis Mage, is just gonna die, so. Yeah, alright, I'll save it. Okay, the one thing that is worrying me though here is we're not. Okay, well this wave's gonna get wrecked, but. A bunch of these waves up here are actually getting through. This guy still's got 101 health here in the back, which is disconcerting. We could spike at the Stygian him, I guess, which would help our Pyro kill him and take less damage. We should probably do that. Alright. So this wave is just completely wrecked, so let's put the spike on him. As much as I want to save it for the boss, there's no guarantee we'll have it when the boss comes anyways. Yeah, you could have said I could have done it on him, because this guy's rooted, so we're going to lose like the efficacy of 1 stack of spikes, which kind of sucks, but... Alright, well, let's see what happens. We're definitely going to take some fire damage here. Hopefully it's not a debilitating amount. Should I Crystalline Seeds these guys? No, let's draw some more cards. Could definitely preserve Thorns. I mean, it doesn't give me my big combo that I wanted with a bunch of free incants down here. But we can get some more damage on these guys. Yeah, if I let him up, I'm definitely risking taking some serious fire damage here. Do 40 damage. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let him deal some damage, so let's just build for the boss. I want to make sure that I can kill that boss. I'm just dumping everything. Oh, beautiful. That was a ton of incants right there. Now look at the spikes damage, 36. I know there's so much damage going on, it's a little hard to see, but I did see we are now getting 36 spikes damage out of our spikes dude. Yeah, let's throw our sapwood up here. We'll get some ember next turn, which probably won't be useful, but you never know. Yeah, I don't care about casting anything else up there. Showing we got him already. Alright, let's buff up the frontline unit. I mean, looks like it doesn't matter, but let's get some more incants. Alright. Goodbye. Okay, we've seen Crystalline Seeds and Unnamed Tome. I won't go over them. Ice Storm. Deal 1 damage to random enemy unit 5 times. This card is awesome. I was kind of hoping that I was going to get it early. It might seem like it sucks. It's like it does 5 damage randomly, but the thing that's fantastic about Ice Storm is it gets boosted by magic power. So you really would want to upgrade that. You know, that's not the strategy we're going for, so I'm going to ignore it. More Crystalline Seeds. I don't know. Is there any danger of like having too many of them? Probably not. We've got a bunch of ways to draw cards. Just take it. YOLO. We've got so much zero cost stuff. I'm going to take another Invigorating Solution. Alright, so now... Okay, interesting choice here. We got 190 gold. I don't really want to purge anything, so Unstable Vortex is not very helpful. taking some Pyro health, could be useful. Our strategy takes some time to build up a bit, so we might take some damage in early waves in the final battle, which is Seraph coming up next. And with 190 gold, we can buy 1 trinket, and we could probably re-roll. So there's some interesting Frostbite artifacts that I'm aware of. Like there's one that makes it so Frostbite never decays. That would be extremely good for us. So I don't know, somewhat tempting. If we go to the right, we get an artifact, and we get a Merchant of Magic, which we could luck out and be able to remove Consume on something. At this point, I don't even know what I would remove it from. There's so many targets. I mean, Invigorating Solution is always extremely tempting, but these Excavated Embers are also really nice too. And we have enough money to reroll once to try to get 2 chances at getting that. But yeah, the Purge is kind of a waste. I don't know. Tough call. I'm gonna gamble on it because I really want to get an Eternal Stone. I've been talking about it the whole run. So let's look at our artifact first. +1 stack of spikes each time it's applied. That's pretty damn good with our kind of spike boost on the guard, and units cost -1. I do not care about that at all, so we're going to take the Gnarled Root. Okay, let's look at the Merchant of Magic. Double stack. And 10 magic power and +1 ember. Chaotic Power Stone is not good for this run for us. Stack Stone. Stack Stone is juicy. I mean, it's damn good on Spike of the Stygian. It's pretty damn good on Pyro Shards, given how much utility we're getting out of spikes at this point. But it would mean we would not have enough gold to re-roll and hope for a Remove Consume roll. So the safe option is definitely to put double stack on something. I don't know. I might put it on. Yeah, it's pretty good on Trap Shoot too. I might put it on Pyro Shards just to really boost the hell out of our spikes damage, which is good against Seraph with multi-strike as well. I'm gonna play it safe. I really want to win. Let's put it on. Let's put it on Pyro Shards. That's what I'm going for. Now, is there anything else to spend gold on? I mean, gold gives us points at the end. I don't really care about my points on this run, though, so let's re-roll and see what we would have gotten. Permafrost. Okay, phew! I'm glad I spent that money, because I don't want Permafrost. I would have been sad if that was, I think it's called the Eternal Stone. Alright, is there anything I want to purge? I don't think so, actually, so we're not going to even use that node. And I think we're just all in on Frostbite. Let's go for it. Frostbite 12. Yep, get warned. We didn't collect all the rewards, but that's actually what I intended, so... Okay, here is Seraph the Diligent. The end is near. The great traitor will devour your spells. You better bring more of them if you hope to succeed. Everybody knows what this does, because we've been talking about it all run. All spell cards get Consume. Alright. Is there any reason not to build these guys up on the first floor? I think no, because Frostbite benefits us the most as they climb, so let's just continue sticking with the strategy. Alright, I need my sweep unit. Please give me my sweep unit this turn. Yes. Alright, so we're going to get some good... yeah, we're even going to get the 12 Frostbite from our champion onto Seraph this turn, so... Who do I want to put Rage on? I'll put it on Rage. Should we just cast the Spike now? Let's wait. We might get some sap on Seraph, which could be good. Ooh, 19 Frostbite on Seraph already. That is juicy. I like that. Let's get some more of that. Oh, Trap Shoot, Trap Shoot. Ah, I was hoping to get Trap Shoot so I could drop him back down into the first floor again and we could pack some more Frostbite on him. Alright, well, here's our double stack Pyro Shards. So that's feeling good. I think we're just going to unload everything here. Let's just keep building armor. We need it. We really need to build a lot of armor for when Seraph goes into Relentless. reason to save any of this stuff. I hope I'm not wrong on that. Seraph, come back to the first floor. Ah! Damn. Well, that's kind of annoying, but we can crystalline seeds these guys to get rid of these units here. Let's do it. We can trap shoot Seraph. I'm gonna do it. Let's get him down there. Okay, we need to draw our little, Is there any reason to hold anybody? I'm not holding him. We need to get our little spike spruce guy. Alright, Jaded Jordy asks, why do I put things on the bottom floor and not the top when things get rooted in spots? The reason is I want to put Frostbite on units as early as possible because they take damage at the end of every turn. So every floor that they climb up with my Frostbite strategy, they're going to take another hit of Frostbite. So like this guy's going to take 15 Frostbite at the end of this turn. Then he's going to take 14 Frostbite, and he's going to get rooted. And then on the next turn, he's going to take 13 Frostbite. So the more turns these units are alive, the enemy is alive in my train without getting into the Pyro, the more damage from Frostbite they're going to take. You can see this guy that got rooted up here. Thank you very much, Root Split Mask. He's going to die this turn because he has 17 stacks of Frostbite on him. And this unit is not going to die from Frostbite before getting to the Pyro, but it's going to be somewhat close. And if I cast more spells on him, he probably would, but I still feel like we're just all in down here. Let's just keep building it up. There's my Shard Channeler. Ooh, yes, with my Gnarled Root and my Shard Channeler, we are now dealing 60 damage for every spike. This is going to be very good against Seraph. Let's keep drawing cards. Yeah, let's throw the Wilting Sapwood out. Might as well get some Ember. Alright. Let's just keep boosting here. I just feel like there's no reason not to just keep casting these right now. I guess arguably I could have saved the Excavated Embers. Yeah, that's what I should have done. That would have been smarter. Do I have any left? No. I have 0 cards in my discard and drop out. I should have saved all the Excavated Embers and the Spike of the Stygian for Seraph Relentless. That would have been really smart. But I wasn't smart enough to do that, so now it's kind of pointless. But well, at least we can get some more Ember out of that guy, potentially. Wilting Sapwood. So, bit of a misplay there. I'm hoping it's not going to mean we lose the run. I would be very sad if it does. We are a little bit dangerous here in the fact that, you know, because of that consume thing, we're like running out of ways to give this Guard of the Unnamed more armor, because we don't have any more incants that he can get. So, I mean, we might as well throw this stuff down. There's basically no point not to. Alright, well, we can just leave our Spike of the Stygian just sitting there in our hand. It's our only card left. Kind of at the mercy of the game now. And the mercy, I suppose, of our strategy to see how well it ends up turning out. Final wave, how's it look? Music to my ears. Seraph's looking dead. We're going to Spike of the Stygian him anyways. Sap and Frostbite gives us one last incant trigger. I mean, the 60 damage for spikes is just so damn good. Alright, here we go. Look at all that damage Seraph is taking. That is insane. Oh, he's just getting wrecked by the spikes. See, my double stack idea on Pyro Shards was good. Boom! Okay. Woo! Suck it, Seraph. You are dead. And now, we get to see one of the new features that's new to the game. A couple of them, actually, so let's continue to the game over screen. But first, we restore the pyre to the frozen heart. And the flames of hell are reborn. Alright. Oh yeah, I mastered a bunch of cards. For anybody who's not familiar with this, card mastery is a feature where if you win a run with at least Covenant level 1 on, whatever cards you had in your deck are now considered mastered. They turn gold. It's really just a prestige thing. So yeah, I mean, if you want to like show your complete dominance over the game, you want to master all cards on all clans. There's 200-something cards in the game, so I think it's fun. So I reset my save data somewhat recently, so all the cards in my deck, all the unique cards in my deck, all got mastered right there. All right. Look at this. Ooh, things are happening here. It's beautiful. It's so harmonious with the sounds, too. This is the new logbook screen that tracks your progress, and spoiler alert, you can see the other 2 clans. I'm not going to tell you anything about them, but they're there. This is our new logbook tracking screen. I've cheated, so there's some stuff like going a little weird. Like I'm not actually on Covenant level 25, but this tracks your progress with all 5 clans: the Hellhorned, the Awoken, the Melting Remnant, the Stygian Guard, and the Umbra. It tracks if you've won with all of those combinations. So there are 20 unique combinations. So you want to, if you want to fill in the logbook for all of these little banners here, you've got to win with every combination of primary and allied clan. So the one that we just won was Stygian Guard Awoken. And it also tracks at what Covenant level you won at. So I won at Covenant level 1. So to really, truly master the game, these little golden triangle pips below here are what level they're at. So you want to get all those to level 10. You want to get your Covenant rank to level 25. And then you want to win with all 20 clan combinations at Covenant 25. And then you want to find all the cards. So, see, I haven't found all the cards. This is like going to make Jade, Jordy, and other people who are like interested in tracking which cards they have mastered, I think, very happy to see this because it's so much clearer. It shows what cards we've discovered, which ones we've mastered, how many, and the goal here is, of course, to get all gold cards for all clans as well, including the clanless cards that come from the Concealed Caverns events. So there's a lot to do. I think this draws a lot more clarity around just goal setting in the game for single players, so I'm really happy that we put this in. Another feature of the logbook that's new. So we saw the cards. You can look at your cards. No spoilers here. This is just the Hellhorn clan, and I'm not going to click around. You can look at all artifacts in the game, which I'll only show for just a second. I'm sure somebody's going to click on that. No, I'm just kidding. You can see this. I'm not going to hover my mouse over things from the other clans. We'll wait until we go and play them. One thing, though, I'll show just this one. I mentioned earlier, in the last run, we had the Pyrostone housing, so unit cards gain an extra upgrade slot. It's sweet. Here's the Lightstone casing, which is the spell version of that, just to show that we also added that to the game, which can be really fun if you're focused on a spell boosting strategy. Here is the other tab that's new. So this is the Stats Leaderboard. This is technically in the public beta right now, but it's kind of buried, and I don't think anybody's really finding it. But it's a way to compare against your Steam friends. So I've got a bunch of friends that I've put their real names in as aliases on Steam. So, hey guys, you're on stream. Anyway, but we can compare our Covenant rank. So I've only won in this kind of like, we have different server environments. It's kind of boring technical thing, but I've only won on Covenant 1. We just did it, but my friend Julian Lebesque has Covenant 11, so that's pretty good. We can compare by clan, so if I want to filter only by the Awoken, only by et cetera, I can do that. In terms of top score, I'll go back to all clans. Looks like Squid Helmet is at the top here with 43,821 points. Total wins. Julian again with 12. Me with just 1. Come on. Well, I always reset my data. And win streaks. Squid Helmet and Julian both with 2 win streaks. Win streaks are something that, it's meant for like kind of elder game players to continue to want to win in a row without losing. So it's really hard to do, especially as Covenant levels rise. All right. So this is really cool. Get your friends to play on Steam. Then you can compare and talk smack and so on. All right, and the last thing that's new to the victory screen, there's like a little bit of the data's been rearranged to make it a bit clearer. Like we more carefully explain why you got points for what things in these tooltips. Once you get your hands on this, you can play with it and look at it. But we've got this new little stat tracking. New personal record. Total multi-strike applied this run, 7. Previous best, 1. I applied 7 multi-strike. I don't know, I gotta think about that. I mean, we upgraded our units. Something, you know, this is a new feature. Something feels wrong about that to me. Like, did I actually apply 7 multi-strike? I mean, we upgraded our units with it. I don't know. We'll take a look at that one after. But bottom line, we're tracking a bunch of other like fun little stats that we can show off here. Just as something to encourage you to like try to best your previous score on things. This little stat line thing too will sometimes also compare against your Steam friends if you have any that are playing Monster Train. So like it might let me know that I just did better than a friend, which can be a fun moment for like taking a screenshot and sharing with people and talking smack again. So yeah, I think that's all we're intending to show today. And as a 2-hour stream, I'm definitely getting tired of talking. Thank you for joining us. If you're interested in playing Monster Train, there's still time to sign up for the public beta at themonstertrain.com. Someone in chat can certainly post the link, please. And yeah, I hope you'll join us in the beta and play the full game when it comes out. Thanks, everybody. Sayonara.